G'day crew. On a recent trip I had a situation where I had to give way to another boat even though the rules say that I was the stand-to vessel. In most conditions, a vessel under power has to give way to a vessel under sail, but there are exceptions. In most cases, it makes sense for the vessel under power to give way because the vessel under sail is generally not as manoeuvrable as a vessel under power. However, as I said, there are exceptions, and this does not apply when a sailboat or any other boat is approaching another from behind, regardless of whether the sailboat is under sail or under power. Any boat, regardless of type, approaching another boat from behind is required to take whatever steps are necessary to avoid a collision. And I'm pretty sure that that does not include yelling at the other boat to get out of the way. However, if that does happen, then it's best for the other boat to get out of the way rather than be involved in an accident just because they're in the right. I can understand that sometimes one boat will not see another boat for one reason or another. Now, these things happen, and all boats should be prepared to take avoiding action in these circumstances. But that was not the case here. Clearly, the other captain thought that they had the right of way in all circumstances simply because they were under sail. This was the last event in a somewhat disastrous fishing trip where almost everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I did a video on that a couple of weeks ago. So at this point, I was very unhappy with the entire trip, and I was beyond bothering to argue with the other captain. So I just got my boat out of the way to avoid an accident. Rather than argue with him though, what I should have done was just told him to look up the rules when he got back to port. With hindsight, I regret that I did not do that, as the next boat that he encounters may not be so lucky. The moral of the story though is that every boat needs to take avoiding action regardless of whether they are the give-way vessel or not. Thanks for watching. Until next time, good fishing.